left, they should be able to see the shooter clearly there on the AGR second floor roof. My question is, why is there not a Secret Service counter sniper on that roof?
So, Senator, when we post up, our methodology is to look at things that can see in on our protectees so that they can provide that coverage.
But why is there not a Secret Service counter sniper there with clear line of sight? That roof has a clear line of sight to the former president. Why didn't you put a Secret Service counter sniper there?
The Secret Service's counter sniper role is to neutralize those threats that are looking in on us from where the protectee is, not necessarily
you think maybe you might want to revise that protocol in light of what happened here?
They were protecting the principal, and I think
the principal got shot.
I understand that, sir.
So do you think you might want to revise the protocol? Let me ask you this. Who was the lead site agent who made the decision to leave the AGR building completely outside of the security perimeter? Who was that?
Senator, I cannot give you that name. This person is operational. They're still doing investigations. They're still doing protective visits.
Have they been relieved of duty?
Senator, they have not been relieved of duty.
I know their name, by the way. Why have they not been relieved of duty?
They are still cooperating.
A heated exchange in the Senate as Senator Hawley calls out the Secret Service on security lapses. Today we're diving into a gripping exchange between Senator Josh Hawley and Acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe during a recent Senate hearing. The topic? The investigation into the security failures surrounding the tragic shooting at a Trump rally. This incident at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania left former President Donald Trump shot, one fatality, and several critically wounded. Serious questions have been raised about the security measures in place. Hawley questioned why there wasn't a Secret Service counter sniper on the AGR building roof, which had a perfect line of sight to the stage. Director Rowe explained their focus is on threats looking in, not outward threats. But Hawley wasn't satisfied and pushed back, suggesting a rethink of those protocols.
The president was shot, that a good American is dead, that other Americans were critically wounded. Isn't that enough mission failure for you to say that the person who decided that building should not be in the security perimeter probably ought to be stepped down?
Senator, I think you're using the word decided, and I think we need to allow the investigation play out to include.
Who did make the decision then? If it wasn't the lead site agent, who made the decision not to put that in the security perimeter?
Senator, you're zeroing in on one particular agent. I want to find out exactly what was the entire decision process. So I think I want to be neutral and make sure that we get to the bottom of it and interview everybody in order to determine if there was more than one person who perhaps exercised bad judgment.
Well, sure. My question is, why don't you relieve everybody of duty who made bad judgment? So yeah, you're right. I am zeroing in on somebody. I'm trying to find somebody who's accountable here. And you're telling me that the person who made the decision not to include this in the perimeter has not been relieved of duty. What about the person who is in charge of the interoperability of radio frequencies between local law enforcement and Secret Service? Has that person been relieved of duty?
No, Senator, because interoperability is a challenge, is a greater challenge than just one person. On that day, we had a counterpart system. It failed spectacularly.
As the person who made the decision to send Donald Trump onto stage knowing that you had a security situation, has that person been relieved of duty?
No, sir, they haven't.
Has the person who decided not to pull the former president off of stage when you knew that, in your words, the locals were working a serious security situation, has that person been relieved of duty?
No, sir. Again, I refer you back to my original answer that we are investigating this through a mission assurance, and as opposed to zeroing in on one.
What more do you need to investigate to know
exactly what the decision-making process was? What more do you need to investigate
to know that there were critical enough failures that some individuals ought to be held accountable? I mean, what more do you need to know?
What I need to know is exactly what happened, and I need my investigators to do their job. And I cannot.
A lot of people didn't do their jobs.
I cannot put my thumb on the scale, otherwise.
What do you mean put your thumb on the
scale? You're asking me, Senator, to completely make a rush to judgment about somebody failing. I acknowledge this was a failure of the Secret Service.
Is it not prima facie that somebody has failed? A former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days,
then
just like you have.
Somebody to
I will tell you, Senator, that I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity. and not rush to judgment and put people
I can't believe that you
persecuted.
are unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly,
we got people
sir.
who are
We
dead.
have to be able to have a proper investigation into this, Senator.
You said earlier that you've got to make sure that your protocols are followed, and unless there's a protocol violation, people wouldn't be disciplined. I would just say to you, I don't really care that much about your protocols. I think if your protocols don't provide for the fact that when a former president is shot, when an American is killed, when other rally goers, innocent people who just showed up on the day, when they are shot at and critically wounded, if that isn't a protocol violation prima facie, you should revise your protocols.
Senator, I think
Hawley also demanded the lead site agent be relieved of duty, but Rowe insisted on waiting for the investigation's outcome. When questioned about the decision to exclude the AGR building from the security perimeter, Rowe remained vague and emphasized the ongoing investigation. Sources claimed officers abandoned their posts on the roof due to the heat. Rowe admitted he'd heard the same but couldn't confirm it yet. Local law enforcement reportedly offered drones to monitor the area, but this offer was declined, a decision Rowe conceded was likely a mistake. 17 days after the event, Rowe still couldn't confirm basic facts. Hawley pressed, "What more do you need to know to hold people accountable?" Rowe maintained he didn't want to rush to judgment, but Hawley insisted such glaring failures should trigger immediate action. This investigation needs transparency, and the American people deserve answers. If you found today's breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care.